Welcome to Dana, a leader in highly engineered solutions for improving efficiency, performance, and sustainability of powered vehicles and machinery. Each of our employees around the world is committed to safety, doing the right things and doing things right. As you come onto our facility, we expect you will likewise commit to being safe in all that you do on our behalf. We are all counting on you.
At Dana, we are dedicated to safeguard life, health, property, and the environment. We have developed the Dana Contractor Safety Program to ensure safety, both yours and others, while working at our facilities. All contractors hired to work at a Dana facility must follow and support a process that includes this safety orientation, where we introduce you to our policies and safe work procedures. We expect you to behave with the same high level of concern for safety, health, security, and environmental protection as our people do, complying with all applicable regulations for this location. Please pay careful attention to this message that outlines the rules and expected behaviors for all people working on Dana property. We strive to provide a safe and respectful environment for everyone. No forms of harassment, aggressive behavior, or violent activity will be tolerated. Prohibitions include intentionally damaging any property and bringing weapons inside our facilities. Dana's facilities are smoke-free environments. If you must smoke, please do so in a designated area. Our facility representative will indicate these for you as necessary. No alcohol or drugs are allowed on Dana property. It is forbidden to enter or work in our facilities under the influence of any substance or medication that can interfere with your capabilities. Your work area must be kept clean at all times, and all work must be conducted with safety in mind. It is your most important task. Every time you enter or exit a Dana facility, you must go to the security checkpoint and check in. This ensures that we know who is on site in the event of an emergency. Each Dana facility has a detailed emergency action plan that addresses fires, explosions, threats, weather, and other natural disasters, as well as spills and releases. Facility-specific emergency information will be provided to you by our facility representative. Our facility has designated first responders trained to assist in emergency situations. In case of an emergency, you will be notified either by facility personnel or by an audible and visible alarm. You must follow all emergency instructions given. If you see or hear anything strange or have any concerns, please notify Dana personnel immediately. Our facility representative will review the important safety and environmental information you need to know while working at our facility, as well as following up and assisting with your activities as necessary. Designate a primary Dana contact for any additional questions. Delineate potential hazards and required controls associated with performing work at our facility, and provide any additional site-specific safety requirements prior to starting the project. All contractors, contractor employees, and any subcontractors are expected to participate in the safety orientation and policy and procedure review conducted by our facility representative in advance of starting any work. Everyone must be aware of chemical and other potential hazards at the facility, and that includes you. Our facility representative will provide information you may need to protect yourself against such hazards. This will include safety data sheets and personal protective equipment requirements. If your work requires the use of hazardous chemicals at our facility, the facility representative must be notified and safety data sheets provided. Before starting the work you were hired to perform, a pre-task safety plan must be developed jointly by Dana and your company. This plan details specific job safety requirements, outlines safe work procedures to be used, and documents participation by contractor and subcontractor personnel. No work can begin until a permit to work is issued. It must be kept at the job site for the duration of the job. Permits must be reissued daily for the length of the project. You are required to report any incidents while working at Dana. Anything, regardless of seriousness, that resulted or could have resulted in injury to anyone, caused any property damage, fire, or other cause of business interruption, must be immediately reported to our facility representative. All incidents will be properly investigated and documented. Dana teams around the globe work to protect the environment and reduce the impact of our operations and processes. You are expected to comply with our waste disposal procedures and support our efforts to reduce waste generation as well as energy and water use. Dana's environmental protection expectations include shutting off equipment when not in use, maintaining proper storage of flammable materials and other potentially hazardous chemicals, ensuring all chemicals and containers brought to the site are properly labeled, placing any recyclable materials into the proper collection bins, separate scrap metal, cardboard, wood, and other recyclables from the general trash waste stream, prohibiting discharges of any material except rainwater and snowmelt to storm drains. Solids must also be prevented from entering storm drains. Keeping all access drives, parking areas, and adjacent public roadways clean and installing stormwater control measures as appropriate. Ensuring proper liquid transfers to and from containers and preventing spillage. Know the location of the nearest spill kit. Only trained and certified technicians may service equipment containing ozone-depleting substances. If the project involves any work on equipment containing ozone-depleting substances, the facility representative will advise of the special permissions and requirements that apply. Your company must supply all equipment and tools necessary to complete the work for which you were hired. Our personal protective equipment policy defines the operational areas that require the use of safety toe shoes, safety eyewear, hearing protection, and other safety equipment and/or clothing. Your facility representative will communicate personal protection requirements as they apply to the facility and the tasks being performed. You must use the appropriate personal protective equipment in all designated areas. Failing to do so will result in written notifications, interruptions of the tasks, and/or lead to the cancellation of the work permit. Lockout is a life safety critical procedure. Contractors working at Dana facilities must always use lockout, tagout when required. Never remove locks or tags without cause. Properly prepare equipment and affected personnel for restart. And never use a lockout lock or tag for a use other than lockout, tagout. All equipment that presents unexpected energization and startup hazards will be fully locked out and informationally tagged to prevent accidental starting, movement, or release of energy. Both locks and tags in conjunction are required. Each piece of equipment has a written lockout, tagout procedure that must be followed. Our facility representative can provide equipment-specific procedures. Machine guarding is a life safety critical procedure. Contractors working at Dana facilities must never adjust or remove a guard without training and authorization. Never operate a machine without all required guards being in place. Never bypass a guard or safety device, and never climb, step, sit, or ride on a conveyor. No bypass of any machine safeguard will be tolerated. If it is determined that a particular task cannot be performed under the standard machine guarding procedure, an alternative safe operating procedure must be developed in accordance with Dana safety policy. Fall protection is a life safety critical procedure. Contractors working at Dana facilities must follow all established fall protection requirements. There are specific procedures for working at heights and on work platforms of varying elevations. Fall protection is mandatory for those working at elevations of 1.2 meters or 4 feet or more which do not have railings, or for working from a portable platform. Only competent and trained personnel are authorized to use fall arrest equipment. All involved personnel must wear a full body harness attached to a lanyard or other fall limiting device, which must be attached to an anchor point that is capable of supporting 2,250 kilograms or 5,000 pounds, and approved for use by a qualified person. All fall protection equipment must be inspected before use. Any equipment in disrepair cannot be utilized. If there is a drop of 1.2 meters or 4 feet or more, and/or there is a risk of objects falling over the edge of a higher level if they were accidentally displaced, the area below must be barricaded to prohibit personnel from entering the potential drop zone. Always ensure that potential falling objects are secured and kept far enough from the edge of a higher level so they cannot fall. The use of powered industrial vehicles is a life safety critical procedure. Contractors working at Dana facilities must follow all established requirements. Powered industrial vehicles include forklifts, tuggers, stand-up and platform lifts, Cushman carts, golf carts, aerial lifts, articulating boom lifts, scissor lifts, and other types of powered vehicles not intended for use over the road that might be used in the plant environment. Safe operating rules must always be followed. No one shall operate any powered industrial vehicle at a Dana facility without receiving training and undergoing required testing. Operator permits are specific to particular types of powered industrial vehicles. Contractors and other personnel working in areas where powered industrial vehicles operate are to abide by the following general rules. Never pass under raised forks or the platform of a powered industrial vehicle, whether they are loaded or not. Walk around forks of a forklift, never over or between them. Never hitch a ride on a powered industrial vehicle unless the unit is designed for that purpose. And always be mindful of vehicle traffic in the plant. You can see them more easily than they can see you. Electrical safety is a life safety critical procedure. Contractors working at Dana facilities must follow all established electrical safety requirements. You must have sufficient training and certification, be properly trained and authorized to perform electrical work. Only certified electricians are authorized to do work on high voltage systems of 600 volts and higher. Proper personal protective equipment must be used when performing electrical work, such as electrically rated hard hats, face shields, insulated rubber gloves, leather overgloves, insulated boots, and/or other equipment that may be required. The contractor is to provide all necessary electrical PPE for their employees. Access to affected work areas must be limited when electrical work is in progress. When working near high voltage wires, you must maintain at least 3 meters or 10 feet of clearance from the lines at all times. You must de-energize power lines and electrical equipment using Dana's lockout/tagout procedures as necessary. Confined space entry is a life safety critical procedure. Contractors working at Dana facilities must follow all established confined space entry safety requirements. Each of our facilities has a list of confined spaces with documented entry procedures for each space. You need an entry permit to enter these spaces and must adhere to the specific entry procedures designated for each confined space to be entered. In addition to complying with the confined space requirements that apply, each contractor who is retained to perform entry operations shall obtain any available information regarding hazards and entry operations from our facility representative. Coordinate entry operations with Dana when both Dana personnel and contractor personnel will be working in or near confined spaces. And inform our facility representative of any hazards confronted or created, either through a debriefing or during the entry operation. No hot work, welding, cutting, burning, or other flame or spark producing operations is to be performed without a permit, except when in approved areas, such as a designated maintenance area. Permits will be issued for each hot work job by our facility representative or their designate only after the area has been inspected and it has been determined that adequate precautions have been taken. Upon completion of the project, hot work permits must be turned in to our facility representative. Thank you for your attention. Your cooperation in meeting the expectations detailed in this presentation will help prevent injuries, protect the environment, and ensure a problem-free project. Please remember that disregard for any of the Dana safety policies or procedures presented in this program may result in termination of the project and/or removal of the contractor and/or individual contractor or subcontractor employees from our facility. This concludes our contractor safety briefing. If you have any questions, please ask. And remember to always be safe, no matter where you are or what you do.